Today I decided to film myself cutting my crochet braids. If you're new to the channel, hi, my name is LaDawn. This is the Nolyenapturallyme channel, and I have natural hair. However, I was diagnosed with a very rare autoimmune illness almost 5 years ago now. And because of that, I just haven't had the energy to do crochet styles. But this season, I decided to do crochet braids as a protective style for the winter months, hoping that it would save me time and energy, and I'm so glad I did. So when I installed these crochet braids, which were very easy to do, I decided to create invisible parts on the side, or use the invisible part method um, on the left and right sides of my hair, because when I wear my hair out naturally, I usually wear a part on the sides. Um, and so I'll get back to this hair later. But and so I wanted to give myself lots of flexibility in terms of styling options. So I did the invisible part method on the sides, and I also did it for a middle part as well. And I love it. It's crazy because the only time I do a middle part is when I wear crochet styles. For some reason with my natural hair, I don't prefer the middle part, but definitely with these crochet braids. So I'm going to start by sectioning my hair. I create one section on the left front, one section on the right front, and then the back I save as a section onto itself. So I'm going to do a little bit of this off camera, and I'll begin working with the front. So you're going to see me play with the hair a little bit in terms of the styling options I mentioned. Associated with the invisible parts, just because I want to get another look at how the hair naturally lays. I like to do that before I begin cutting any layers in the hair. And then also, it really does help me to see the cut hidden within the hair. Because it's like you have a vision of how you want to cut your hair, but your hair may not be doing that. So I like to see where the natural layers are and then allow the hair to kind of speak to me. So I begin by cutting at the bottom of my hair, just to kind of even things off and to get a feel for where I would like the bottom of my hair to hit. I am not a professional by any means, and this method helps me to ensure my hair is the length I want it at the bottom. And then I can make the adjustments at the top of the hair so that it blends in with where I want the bottom of my hair to hit. I hope that makes sense. And then also it's really helpful when I try to diminish any extra weight in the hair, or thin it out if I choose to do that as well. So I'm now beginning to create like a rounded shape at the bottom, and I use that by almost creating, cutting on an angle towards the top of my hair, as you'll see me do here. And then that's how I begin to create the layers in this hair. Now, when installing this hair, I did use the split hair method you guys have seen in my earlier crochet videos, where I use this particular hair, which is the Havana Mambo Twist hair. It is my absolute favorite crochet braid hair. I just love the texture. I love the way it wears. It looks natural the longer you keep it in, and it's super easy to cut. It's very forgiving. One thing I will share is when you're cutting the hair, especially if it's textured or curly, don't stretch it out. Like, leave the hair the length it is without, smoothing it or stretching it to cut, because that'll cause the cut to actually be shorter than you intended it to. And again, this hair I think is beginner friendly in terms of crocheting and in terms of cutting, because it is very forgiving, and if you just make little cuts at a time, then you'll kind of find your groove. So when working with those top layers, I do like to cut in a downward motion because it helps me to blend those top layers with the bottom layers. So everything is nice and seamless, and I don't get a cut that is too choppy. Now this Havana Mambo Twist hair is old. I've had this hair for probably 4 years because since my diagnosis, I just really haven't had the energy to do this particular style because for some reason in my mind, I just felt like it would be more labor intensive. And it isn't like, this hair is just the absolute easiest to maintain. And like I said, even if your braids like tend to get loose or anything like that, it's just going to continue to look natural. Like people won't even know. So this is what the hair is looking like thus far, and I'm really satisfied with the shape. And from here, I like to just move the hair around, make sure that I don't need to do any additional cutting to ensure that regardless of how I wear it, it blends beautifully. And so far, that is the case. I'm so geeked. I was nervous about this, guys, because I've not cut hair in years. Like, it's been, 4 or 5 years. So I was really happy. I've been doing like spring twists and stuff like that. So I was happy to get back to this because it's such a beautiful style. And I'm going to take the hair down in the back and cut that. I did not film it because I didn't feel confident doing that on film as like a technique for you guys because I just hadn't done it in such a long time. So, but these were the final results. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and